Welcome to Retired Pennies World, the home of true coin knowledge and real U.S. coin values. On this channel, we explore rare coins, valuable pocket change, mint errors, and hidden treasures most people overlook. No fake hype, no guessing, only honest facts, real history, and collector-trusted information. If you love coins, want to know what your money is really worth, and enjoy discovering surprises in everyday change, you're in the right place. Let's begin. The 1966 quarter dollar without any mint mark is one of the most misunderstood and interesting coins in U.S. history. At first glance, it looks like a normal old quarter, something people often ignore or spend without a second thought. But collectors know that the 1966 quarter has a special story, and in certain conditions, it can be worth much more than its face value of 25 cents. In 1966, the United States was going through a major change in coin production. Silver was becoming too expensive to use in everyday coins, so the U.S. Mint had already removed silver from quarters starting in 1965. That means the 1966 quarter is not made of silver. Instead, it is composed of a copper core with a copper-nickel outer layer. Even though it contains no silver, this coin still attracts collectors because of its history, condition, and rare errors. One important thing to understand about the 1966 quarter is the absence of a mint mark. During the mid-1960s, from 1965 to 1967, the U.S. Mint intentionally removed mint marks from all coins. This was done to stop coin hoarding and collecting during the silver shortage. So if your 1966 quarter has no mint mark, that is completely normal. All 1966 quarters were struck without mint marks, even though many were actually produced in Philadelphia and Denver. The obverse, or front side of the 1966 quarter, features George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. You will see the word Liberty at the top and the phrase "In God We Trust" on the left side of Washington's portrait. The date 1966 appears at the bottom. On the reverse side, you will see a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, holding arrows with olive branches below. This classic eagle design was used on Washington quarters for many decades. Now let's talk about value, which is what most people care about. In circulated condition, meaning the coin has been used in everyday transactions and shows wear, a 1966 quarter is usually worth face value around 25 cents to 50 cents. However, the value increases when the coin is uncirculated. An uncirculated 1966 quarter with no wear and strong details can be worth $5 to $20 depending on its quality. The real excitement comes with high-grade coins. If a 1966 quarter is graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services, its value can jump significantly. Some top-condition examples have sold for hundreds, 300, or even more at auctions. These coins are rare because most 1966 quarters were heavily used in circulation. Another reason the 1966 quarter is popular among collectors is error coins. Errors can dramatically increase the value. Examples include off-center strikes, double die errors, clipped planchets, or wrong metal errors. A 1966 quarter with a strong error can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on how rare and visible the error is. It is also important to look closely at the edge of the coin. A normal 1966 quarter should have a visible copper line on the edge. If the edge looks completely silver with no copper showing, it could be a rare mint error and should be checked by a professional immediately. Many people ask if the 1966 quarter without a mint mark is rare. The answer is no in general because millions were made, but rarity depends on condition and errors, not just the year. Finding a clean, uncirculated example today is much harder than people realize, especially one with strong luster and no damage. If you find a 1966 quarter in your pocket change, do not clean it. Cleaning can destroy the coin's value instantly. Instead, store it safely and consider having it evaluated if it looks unusual or very sharp. Next up, 1980 quarter dollar with the P mint mark is a coin that many people overlook, but it still holds importance for collectors and everyday coin hunters. At first glance, this quarter looks like a normal modern coin, something you might find easily in your pocket change. However, when we look closer at its history, condition, and possible errors, the 1980p quarter becomes much more interesting. The year 1980 falls into the modern era of U.S. coinage, long after silver was removed from quarters. This means the 1980 quarter is made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, with a pure copper core sandwiched between two layers of copper-nickel. It contains no silver, but that does not mean it has no value beyond face value. The P mint mark on this coin stands for Philadelphia Mint. You can find the mint mark on the obverse, or front side of the coin, just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. By 1980, the Philadelphia Mint was clearly marking coins with a P, which helps collectors identify where the coin was produced. The design of the 1980 P quarter features George Washington on the front, created by sculptor John Flanagan. Above Washington's head is the word Liberty, and to the left you will see In God We Trust. The date 1980 appears at the bottom. On the reverse side, the coin shows the heraldic eagle with spread wings, holding arrows symbolizing strength and readiness, with olive branches representing peace. Now let's talk about value, which is the most important topic for most collectors. In circulated condition, meaning the coin has wear from regular use, a 1980p quarter is usually worth face value, around 25 cents to 50 cents. Because millions were made, circulated examples are very common. However, the value increases when the coin is in uncirculated condition. An uncirculated 1980p quarter with no wear, strong details, and original mint luster can be worth $3 to $10. Coins in better condition always attract more collector interest, especially when they have sharp strikes and clean surfaces. High-grade examples are where the real premium begins. A 1980p quarter graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services can be worth $20 to $75, and in some cases even more. These coins are harder to find because most were heavily used in circulation over the years. One exciting area for collectors is error coins, and the 1980p quarter is no exception. Errors such as off-center strikes, double die errors, clipped planchets, or weak strikes can dramatically increase the value. Depending on the size and clarity of the error, a 1980p quarter with a genuine mint error can sell for hundreds of dollars, and sometimes even more. Collectors should also check the edge of the coin. A normal 1980p quarter will show a visible copper stripe on the edge. If the edge appears unusual or missing the copper layer, it could be a rare error and should be examined by a professional coin expert. Another important tip is never clean your coins. Cleaning removes original surfaces and can destroy collector value instantly. Even if a coin looks dirty, collectors prefer original condition over clean surfaces. Many people ask if the 1980p quarter is rare. The honest answer is that it is not rare by date, but rare by condition and errors. Finding a high-grade, uncirculated example today is much harder than most people realize. In summary, the 1980 quarter dollar with P mint mark may seem common, but it still offers opportunities for collectors. While most examples are only worth face value, uncirculated coins and error varieties can be worth significantly more. This is why it is always smart to check your pocket change carefully. Next up, 1978 quarter dollar without any mint mark is a coin that often confuses collectors and beginners. Many people believe that a missing mint mark automatically means a coin is rare, but in the case of the 1978 quarter, the story is a little different. Understanding where this coin was made, how it was produced, and what affects its value can help you know whether your coin is common or worth keeping. In 1978, the United States Mint was producing large numbers of quarters for everyday use. By this time, all quarters were made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, with a solid copper core inside and copper-nickel layers on the outside. The 1978 quarter contains no silver, since silver had been removed from quarters more than a decade earlier. When a 1978 quarter has no mint mark, it means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. During this time, the Philadelphia Mint sometimes produced coins without a visible P mint mark, especially on quarters, so a missing mint mark on a 1978 quarter is normal and not an error. On the front of the coin, you will see the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. The word liberty appears at the top of the coin, while "In God We Trust" is written to the left of Washington's image. The date 1978 is shown clearly at the bottom. On the reverse side, the coin features the American eagle with spread wings, holding arrows and olive branches below, symbolizing strength and peace. Now let's talk about value, which is the most important part for most collectors. In circulated condition, meaning the coin has wear from being used in daily transactions, a 1978 quarter without a mint mark is usually worth face value, around 25 to 50 cents. Because millions were made, these coins are very common. If the coin is in uncirculated condition, with no wear and strong original shine, the value can increase to around $3 to $10. Coins with sharp details and clean surfaces are always more desirable to collectors. The real collector interest comes from high-grade examples. A 1978 quarter without a mint mark that is graded MS65 or higher can be worth $20 to $60 or more, depending on eye appeal and surface quality. These high-grade coins are much harder to find today because most were heavily circulated. Another way a 1978 quarter can become valuable is through mint errors. Errors such as off-center strikes, double die varieties, clipped planchets, or lamination errors can greatly increase a coin's value. Depending on the type and visibility of the error, a genuine 1978 quarter error coin can be worth hundreds of dollars. Collectors should also examine the edge of the coin. A normal 1978 quarter will show a visible copper stripe along the edge. If the edge looks fully silver or unusual, it may indicate a rare mint error and should be examined by a professional. One very important rule for collectors is never clean your coins. Cleaning can damage the surface and remove original mint luster, which can drastically reduce the coin's value. Even a dirty coin is better than a cleaned one.
Next up, many people search for a 1975 quarter dollar, and some even believe they have one, but the truth is very surprising. The United States Mint did not produce any quarters with the date 1975. If you were looking at a coin dated 1975, it is not a genuine U.S. quarter. So why is there no 1975 quarter? The answer lies in one of the most famous coin programs in U.S. history, the bicentennial coins. In 1975 and 1976, the U.S. Mint celebrated 200 years of American independence. Instead of striking quarters with the date 1975, the Mint produced special quarters dated 1776, 1976. These bicentennial quarters were made for 2 full years, which means all quarters struck in 1975 and 1976 carried the dual date 1776, 1976. Because of this decision, no quarter was ever released with the single date 1975. This makes the idea of a 1975 quarter one of the most common myths in coin collecting. The bicentennial quarter features George Washington on the front, just like regular quarters, but the reverse design is different. Instead of the eagle, the back shows a colonial drummer with a torch surrounded by stars. This special design was only used for the bicentennial celebration. Bicentennial quarters were made in very large numbers. Most of them are common and worth face value, around 25 to 50 cents when found in circulation. However, some bicentennial quarters were made with 40% silver, and those were sold in special collector's sets. Those silver versions can be worth $5 to $20 or more, depending on condition. Collectors should also watch for error bicentennial quarters, such as off-center strikes, double die errors, or wrong planchet errors. These rare mistakes can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the error. If someone claims to have a quarter dated 1975, it is usually a misread 1776-1976 quarter, a damaged or altered coin, or not a real U.S. Mint product. Always examine the date carefully under good light. To summarize, the 1975 quarter does not exist, and that is exactly what makes this topic so interesting. Understanding this fact can protect collectors from confusion and help them recognize the real coins that matter. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, make sure to subscribe to Retired Pennies World. This channel is all about 100% true coin facts, real values, and honest information you can trust. Like the video, share it with fellow collectors, and keep checking your pocket change because the next valuable coin could already be in your hands. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.